Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow, Season 7, Episode 2, The Longbow Hunters. This episode was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun. We got a bit of stuff with going on with Oliver in prison and stuff. He has to kill the guard. He has to find a way to get rid of him so he can get some information from, from Brickwell. And then we can try to get some information from Brick about how, as to where... stuff about Ricardo Diaz and stuff. He's still trying to fight him from inside of there, and he ends up trying to get the guard to kill him. He has to try and kill him and stuff, and he tries to get him out, get him to leave, get him to fired, all that stuff. And what he ends up doing is stabbing himself and pretending that he got stabbed by the guard so that the guard can be removed, type thing. And I think that was an interesting idea. It's gonna be cool to play with that type of thing, and that'd be quite cool to see as to where things go with that. And it's really cool seeing is also what's going on in the flashbacks, or the flash forward, I should say, with Roy Harper and Arsenal, and with future version of William, we find out that he had a boyfriend type thing, so he's gay. So it's an interesting fact about him that's kind of interesting to see as to where that storyline's going to come up, and when does he kind of bring that. If they set that up later on in the future, or if they're also going to touch upon that in the President's type thing, since they're doing that and they're doing the stuff going on in Supergirl and stuff. I think it's really cool to see as to kind of where things go with that. But I'm hoping and I'm thinking that maybe that the Green Arrow, the current Green Arrow, which we didn't see anything of him in this episode. I think the current Green Arrow is probably someone like a future version of, maybe not Roy Harper, but I think that's the too obvious one, that it's Roy Harper. I feel like the future version is probably someone like the future version of William, and I think that could be really cool to see that if we see the future version of William over on Later Tomorrow, could be quite cool. And I just posted I just did my review also for the Arrow for the Legend of Tomorrow episode, and it kind of forgot. This kind of episode reminded me that Quentin Lance died in the last season, and that's something that I completely forgot about. So I think that's going to be cool to see as to how that kind of affects this show, and it kind of, there's a bit of the leftover of that. But also how it affects Sarah going on in Legend of Tomorrow. She doesn't look like she was too affected by that, so it'll be cool to see as to where things kind of go, if that kind of comes up in Legend of Tomorrow, if she gets reminded about that. That should have been in the recap, it should have been in the episode, just something about her, kind of something about that, maybe she's repressing it. We'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go with that, but that's for the other show type thing. So I think it's really cool to see is kind of where things going with this. We had William, who was kind of sent off type thing to do his own thing. And I was hoping that when he was sent off that he'd kind of start learning to kind of fight and stuff, learning some sort of defense so that he could help and stuff when Diaz broke into Felicity in his apartment type thing, and William's place, and attacked them. He had no idea how to even help, attack him type thing. Even Felicity, it's about time that she starts to learn some sort of training, needs to start training, needs to start working out, needs to start be able to handle her own, so that when someone attacks her like that, she can kind of defend herself a little bit. Doesn't need to become, the best fighter out there and type thing, but just enough to be able to handle herself, so that when Ricardo Diaz attacks her, it's not, it's not as easy as it is. And yeah, she did stop him a little bit, but it's like next time he's just gonna he might get the jump on her type thing, and she won't be able to do anything. So I'd like to see her kind of learn, she's trying to fight back type thing, and it's cool seeing her at the end of this episode working with the FBI. That's going to be cool to see as to where things go with that. And it doesn't look like from the trailer that there's too much of where that's going to go. It's just more of Oliver in prison for the trailer for next episode. So I think it'll be cool to see as to where things go with that, since it looked like he was teaming up with Brickwell and Turner and Samson type thing. So that'd be cool to see the three of them together. But it looks like it's just, what are they going to turn against him again and send more guys against him? I mean, Oliver should have seen that coming. So I think that's really going to be cool to see as to where things go with that. And I like the relationship between Felicity, where they also have the relationship between Felicity and John and Diggle and stuff, and how she wants to help, get Diaz, but at the same time, Diggle is tired of breaking the law and doing it and having the law against him. Now, if he does it this way legally with Argus type thing, he's kind of following the law. But at the same time, Argus is not. It's interesting to see as to, because Argus is not. At least they had the secretary or some. They had one of the guys who was important there, some secretary type thing, high level guy who was kind of in that meeting for the Argus and stuff, but. So they hit their target was not going after Diaz, but retrieving the device because it's such a dangerous weapon type thing. So I think it's going to be cool to see as to kind of how things go with that. How do we get the medium of, Argus, Diggle working for Argus, but yet, he also wants to put on the costume again, and how do we get to it with things like that? I feel like Argus is definitely going to get involved where it's like there's going to be things that they want to do but they can't do because Argus doesn't want to do that. I think that'll be cool to see as to where things go with that, especially with Lila, running Argus. How much control does she have of that? She now has Amanda Waller's job. Is there anyone else on top of her type thing? It looks like that guy could have been. We'll have to wait and see as to where things go with all that. And if there's anyone on top of Lila and how much control she definitely has. So I think it's going to be cool to see as to where things go with this. But right now, like I'm saying, we still didn't have any more of the new Green Arrow type thing, and we don't know who it is. I'm assuming the obvious thing is obviously Roy Harper. I think that's too easy. I feel like it's probably maybe a future version of William. I think with time travel, that could be really cool to see how things kind of go there. So all in all, I'm really excited to see as to where things go. It was cool seeing the Longbow hunters in here. I really don't know too much about them, so it's going to be cool. I'm just going to look some of that up before the next episode, but it's really going to be cool to see as to where things go with that. Some of the things that they do is just kind of a bit, like there's that one Longbow hunter where she shoots these little darts, and is like this little dart that kind of, it's a very tiny toothpick dart, and it's spraying out enough poisonous gas to fill a train car. That's just kind of silly. I understand this is in the same universe as something like Legend of Tomorrow, where there's magical unicorns that stab people and stuff. Spoilers, I guess, if you didn't see most recent episode of Legend of Tomorrow. But I mean, this one has always been so grounded that just kind of, it doesn't make sense at all, that little thing. And yet it does all kinds of different stuff. I like how she's using it. I like the idea of these little darts that do things. But I think they need to just kind of simplify it, make it, darts that do that maybe it can hack stuff, but it's just kind of a very tiny dart to have such enough poisonous gas or knockout gas to fill a full train car. Like, come on, that was a bit silly. That kind of ruined it for me. So it's really going to be cool to see where things go with this, especially with in the flash forwards where we see that William and Roy Harper are going to Star City, so that'll be cool to see all that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. What do you think about Season 7, Episode 2, Longbow Hunters? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.